Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting story. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story. Hey, here we go. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. This shout out is for our friend Robert. No race, no spinning, because we go. We want a prize. Okay. So we got a Robert sticker. Very big sticker, by the way. Very big. It says, "Congrats on the epic win." Awesome. And then, hold on. Okay, so this. See, my phone will decide it wants to zoom in. Is gold. I'll have to look up the description on his page because I know he said it, but don't remember what it said. And my camera does not want to focus on it for some reason right now. And it's 1.5 grams. So that's a little bit gold, which is cool. And this is the second piece, which is silver. And I'm holding it upside down because I'm a genius. It's a flag. Look how thick that is, guys. That's very cool. So those are our prizes from Robert. I will leave a link for his channel in the description. And it is awesome to win giveaways. I'm hoping that now that our finance is a little bit more stable, we can start doing some giveaways, especially for members when we get that far. So yeah, I don't know what our giveaways will be yet, because we are certainly a very random channel, so we'll figure that out when it happens. Anyway, like, share, comment, check out Robert. Have a good day. Alright everybody, Joe's feeling ambitious today.
Well, I was doing some research, one of my favorite hobbies, and I came across this nice little list of the greatest women of all time for Women's History Month. Some of these are probably pretty familiar, some of them not as much. I want to thank the folks at Esquire for coming up with a list just to start with. And maybe me and Angel will sit down and put together a top 10. Because, some of these names, there's no complete order here. This is just kind of a random throw together. The first one that they list is Sappho. She and Homer founded Western literature.
Okay, that one's definitely going to be on Angel's list.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who are not aware, there is a Reddit list called Sappho and Friends, which is very LGBTQ friendly, and they have some great memes.
Yeah. Now, next one on the list, one of my personal favorites is Esther. Now, she was a Hebrew queen and heroine, stopped a genocide, and then turned around and slaughtered the would-be killers. Nice example to set.
Kill them all!
Right out of the Bible. They're very, very effective at what she needed to do. Another one that I mentioned last week, Joan of Arc. Led an army, saved the people, died stoically, and sainted rightfully. She was a person that stepped in when nobody else would, and how did they repay her for it?
Called her crazy.
And burned her at the stake. Queen Elizabeth I led a people, saved a nation, governed wisely, and respected globally. Pretty much up in the top 10 of anybody's list. Next up we've got is Sacagawea. Now, it depends on how you pronounce it. She is still one of the wisest people that managed to help a couple lost white boys cross this big country back in the day, even while carrying a baby on her back for 1,000 miles. We have Maud Gonne, apparently another author of some mention, says, inspired this, had I heaven's embroidered cloths and wrought with gold and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread these clothes under your feet, but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. Apparently, she helped inspire William Butler Yeats in 1899.
Interesting.
Now, my favorite, Marie Curie makes the list, and said would be on this list even if she'd only won one Nobel Prize. If you guys had missed it, catch last week's article. We went into great detail on Curie's efforts, not only in the fields of chemistry, but also in the fields of the atom, radioactivity, and the fact that you now can't touch her cookbooks for some reason, unless you like going in the dark.
That could be fun.
Exactly. Dorothea Lange showed us the truth. Looks like she's sitting there on top of a car with a camera.
Sounds like she must have been an early journalist,
yeah,
reporter type person.
That's what I'm thinking. And of course, another one, me and Angel got into talk on this when we were out looking at statues, was Eleanor Roosevelt. Interestingly enough, she was, I love how they put it here, co-president of the United States from 1933 to 1945. They're not wrong.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, because, even though they say, well, there's president and there's vice president, back in those days, the wives of some of these presidents, they did a lot more than they're given credit for. Like when I was mentioning to Angel, Woodrow Wilson suffered a stroke, basically, and was in really horrible condition. His wife basically was running the show, while, the country was recovering from World War One. So, next up is Billie Holiday, who was a heck of a singer.
I thought Billie Holiday was a guy.
Ah.
See, I learned something new.
Yep. From Don't Explain, which makes us men feel like real shitheels, and Lover's Man, which makes life better again, and For All the Rest. She had quite a list of tunes to take and work with. A babysitter to big boys of American literature, Anais Nin, her diaries outshined and outscandalized them all. Must be a heck of an author.
I don't recognize the name.
Ingrid Bergman.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Of all the gin joints and all the towns in all the world, she walked into Rick's place in Casablanca.
Ah.
Lucky us.
I've never seen that movie.
Me either. I'm tempted to pull it out now.
I'm afraid I'd be disappointed.
Katharine Hepburn.
Now that's for her.
Mm-hmm. One half of the Hepburn and Tracy. That alone would be enough. But there's also a Hepburn and Bogart, Hepburn and Grant, Hepburn and Poitier. In all, 62 years of the most intelligent acting to ever grace the big screen. Excellent actress. Flannery O'Connor, for scaring the schmaltz out of Southern literature, and for being scary good. Might have to look up that author for you. But then again, you don't like scary, so.
No, I don't do scary.
Marilyn Monroe.
Everybody knows her.
Yeah,
well, most people know her.
Not Marilyn Monroe. The other one, the scared, honest one, the one in the Misfits. So probably early Monroe. Kind of like how when they used to say Elvis. Did you have the pre-Elvis who could sing really good, or do you have the Las Vegas one that, didn't look very good at all? Now this one I think you could count as three pieces. You've got the Supremes. Did a lot of music, Stop in the Name of Love, You Can't Hurry Love, Baby Love, Come See About Me, and Where Did Our Love Go? Lots of good music back then. Gloria Steinem. Angel knows that name. Gained fame for going undercover as a Playboy bunny and earned the lasting respect of history for bringing women equality into the mainstream.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nina Simone, a couple other good tunes that she put out. I Put a Spell on You, Feeling Good, and Sinnerman. Aretha Franklin. Now, there's an artist that pretty much everybody around the world would know who that is.
Right.
Especially for the Columbia Records years. We'd take one step ahead all over her top tens combined. The Bond Girl. Which one?
I'm going to guess the first one, just because they seem to be going in chronological order somewhat.
I do love this line. It says, 20 to 40 years old, sexually experienced, loves bikinis, good with firearms. The last one I think is probably the best quality of them all. Catherine Ross in The Graduate. Now, I've never watched The Graduate, so...
Never watched that one either.
Yeah. The
I've
Everlasting
heard of it,
Miss America. Interesting.
Is she a zombie?
Miss America?
Everlasting.
Unless that's the first person you think of when you think of Miss America. The only thing I
Is
can
that
think
her
of.
name then?
Catherine Ross.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about Everlasting. I was confused.
Maybe. Anne Bancroft in The Graduate. Okay, apparently they're into The Graduate in this list.
Apparently.
Jane Fonda in Barbarella. No. It says Lady Gaga before Lady Gaga was Lady Gaga. No.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, not much of a clarification. Although I have to say Jane Fonda was good in like the China Syndrome movies to that nature, but Barbarella, personally, don't think it was her best work. Janis Joplin. Now,
Vaguely heard of her.
Yeah, she did some excellent tunes, to say the least. It says passion trumps beauty. She definitely had passion when it came to her music. Raquel Welch, the least American actress. Now that's a weird line.
That is a weird line. I don't know what that means.
Mariel Hemingway, limited exposure, the price you pay for starring in a Woody Allen film, even a masterpiece like Manhattan.
I've never even heard of Manhattan.
Me either. Of course, then again, I'm not much of a fan of Woody Allen, so...
Only one of Woody Allen's that I liked was that cowboy one, Urban Cowboy or whatever it was.
Can't remember. I think you're thinking of a different Woody. That's Woody Harrelson.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I get all the Woodies confused.
Yeah. You're thinking of the cowboy way.
Am I?
I think so. Because I don't ever remember Woody Allen being in a cowboy movie.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Here's a very, very popular one, very well known. Julia Child.
Oh, yes. Miss Child.
Yeah, interestingly enough, not only was she a big thing for cooking, she also served during the war in the OSS.
Interesting.
It says it's true. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. If the trail happens to pass through the kitchen of an urban, ebullient, bullshit intolerant master of French cuisine who also happened to serve in the OSS en route, well, now we're speaking the language of love. Okay. Sybil Shepherd.
That one's vaguely familiar.
Yeah. She not only did the Last Picture Show, but she also was featured in several regular TV shows. Yoko Ono.
Well.
No.
Well, she's famous.
She's famous, but that's about it. Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, Setting the Standard, 1972
Were
1973.
They one of the first or something?
That's what I'm wondering. Either that or just because the Cowboys were doing so well, they're on the TV so much.
That could be,
yeah.
I guess. That seems silly, but...
Very. Susan Sarandon. She's been in a number of movies, too. Great actress at every age.
Vaguely, the name's familiar. I want to say she was in General Hospital, but I don't think that's the right one I'm thinking of.
I don't think so.
There was a Susan on there, I think. It's been a bazillion years, so don't quote me.
Priscilla Rashad. Everybody's famous mom from The Cosby Show.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know her name. I'm not good with names.
Yeah. Says the perfect mother. She loved her kids, solved problems, had perfect mom hair, and occasionally said things that children shouldn't hear. Wonderful. Toni Morrison for among a shelf of masterworks, Song of Solomon.
No
I
idea.
did not know that, well, she had anything to do with that book. Dolly Parton.
Yay!
If you have a country list, Dolly Parton's on there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
At least 2 or 3 places.
Oh, yeah. Dolly is the girl.
Yeah. Says, after 41 top 10 albums, 25 number 1 singles, and an acting career, it's something to realize that that her best contribution is one you haven't heard about. The Dollywood Foundation, which promotes literacy and dirt.
We have
books for that, yeah.
We got the books for the kids. That literacy program is amazing. If you have a child or know of a child who's under, I think it's 5 and under, you can sign them up for free books, and they get them, I think it's monthly or maybe it's every 2 weeks. I can't remember.
Feed your kids' brains. You'll be amazed at the growth. Trust us.
We still have some of those books.
Oh, yeah. It says literacy and dirt poor, opportunity-free Appalachian towns, the kind of town she grew up in.
Right.
So, next up we've got everybody's favorite, B. Arthur.
Yay!
Golden Girls.
I was wondering if she's going to be on there. Actually, all the girls need to be on there.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably be on there one after another. It says, grandmas are the best. Earthy, profane, hilarious grandmas especially. We miss you, B. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We'll miss all the girls.
Yeah. Here's one. Golda Meir.
I feel like I should know who that is.
She was one of the leaders of Israel back in their conflict days.
Well, in that case, I probably heard the name, but...
Yeah. Karen Allen. She served in many different movies. 9 and 22-year-old selves just fell in love all over again. She was in Raiders of the Lost Ark and Animal House. I'm trying to think of... She's also in Scrooged.
Oh.
That was Bill Murray's
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Goldie Hawn.
I know her.
Yeah. I still say if you want to see me have some fun, just watch me Laugh-In sometime. Classic slapstick fun stuff. She was in Private Benjamin. Something called Cactus Flower.
I like Private Benjamin.
Yep. Beverly D'Angelo. National Lampoon's Vacation. Chevy Chase didn't deserve her. Also apparently in Coal Miner's Daughter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Indira Gandhi. You don't lead a country from crushing poverty to emerging power without making a few enemies. Richard Nixon considered her an old witch, which can only fall in her favor. She had a hard time dealing not only with infighting, but also putting up with other world powers. India, if you think about it. You got Pakistan over here, you got Bangladesh over here, you got China up there, and then you got the world powers trying to be your friend while we want to use your country for bombing.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Here we go. Joan Jett, one of the classic ladies of rock. She had quite a span of hits, going all the way from I Love Rock and Roll on up. Classic badass when it came to music. Yes, my French is horrible. Sorry, folks. Meryl Streep. There's
Streep? Street?
Meryl Streep.
Oh.
Streep.
I didn't realize it was spelled Streep.
Yep. She starred in a number of movies, too.
I only can think of one off the top of my head, and it's Steel Magnolias.
Yeah.
Which I always had a toss-up on that movie. I wanted to like it, but it was so sad that I couldn't like it.
I know. That's the hard part with some of those movies. You're like, no! Rhea Perlman, everybody's favorite bartender from Cheers.
Ah.
Yep. Says, even though her character on Cheers was a slut who wasn't all that good looking because of it, actually, she's still a heck of an actress. Cher.
Cher.
Yeah, one name is all you need. We have Sharon Stone, who...
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, very unique movie categories. Says Basic Instinct changed what people could do in movies, and Silver changed what people expected.
Cool.
Yep. A person named Shirley Jackson, who, The Lottery, the short story every writer studies to at some point in his life. It only took her an afternoon to write. Haven't read that one yet.
Is that the one where, for reasons I can't remember, maybe overpopulation or something, the city had a lottery, and you drew numbers, and whoever's number was drawn was killed or shot into space or something along those lines.
I don't know. It sounds interesting.
I vaguely remember a short story that in high school along those lines.
Huh.
That had a lottery, but I can't remember what the prize was.
Here's one that will cause some sadness. Princess Diana. She was the original princess, no matter who she was married to. Sadly, no longer with us. Cheryl Teagues. It says, Christy who? You got Madonna.
Madonna?
And I love it says, 1985 Madonna, not the 2010 Madonna, not the plastic reconstruction Madonna that we recently saw. Joan Didion.
No
For
clue.
50 years of not letting America get away with its own self-delusions, if we have a national conscience, this is it.
Cool.
Never heard of her.
Me either.
Joyce Brothers.
That's the doctor lady, isn't it?
I think so. It says, in a house without cable and in a time before the internet, her good housekeeping column was the closest thing to
Dr.
sexual
Ruth,
enlightenment.
wasn't it?
No, that's Ruth
never mind.
Westheimer. Yeah, but yeah, she had a. She says this is the closest thing to sexual enlightenment a kid could find and read before his mom got home from the grocery store.
Yeah, that's where I've heard of it. I don't know why I got her confused with the other lady, but I did.
Gong Li, the first actual Chinese movie star we were exposed to.
No clue.
Chrissy Hine. We can forgive her obnoxious new animal activism.
No clue.
Joan Rivers.
Know her.
Before all this red carpet garbage, a damn fine comedian. Tina Turner.
Vaguely familiar with her.
Yeah, it was just, she was 45 when she walked down the sidewalk in a miniskirt, high heels, and a wig with the "What's Love Got to Do with It" video. It's like she was 30 then, and she's like 30 now. She's had a lot of hits, though. And she also worked her way into a movie career with Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max's third movie. Jackie Joyner Kersee, one of the fastest women in track, is dominant as a Yukon women's basketball team with legs much better suited to shorts. Thanks for letting us know. Katarina Witt. Apparently was big in Calgary in 1988 in the Olympics.
Cool.
Winona Ryder. She was in a lot of movies.
I was going to say, that name's vaguely familiar. I can't place it, but I know it.
Yeah. Edward Scissorhands.
Ah.
Mermaids. Dracula. Reality Bites. Winona was on all of those. And pretty much everybody's heartthrob if you were a teenage boy in the early 90s.
And I wasn't that.
I know. Janet Jackson.
Familiar with that.
Being related to somebody named Michael, you had your own. I hate to say it, she had an interesting life, because I remember reading one time she had mentioned that the reason why she started doing all black, dressing in all black, was because she was trying to imitate Michael. And then when, she wanted to do her own thing, that was the first thing that she tried to do, was to not imitate everybody else, try to do her own. She was a great singer. She made some great music. And then she had an episode during a Super Bowl halftime show.
I don't know if that was her fault or what.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if that, Timberlake's fault. Liz Phair, indie rock chicks couldn't have a better mentor.
Cool.
Fiona Apple, the only singer with that Lily Fair vibe that's okay for men to listen to.
No
I've never
idea.
listened to Fiona Apple. Madeleine Albright, first female Secretary of State, looked great in blue. The only thing you can mention is the lady. She was put into power during the Clinton administration, if I remember right, and worked hard to try to help Europe get its act together. But I'm kind of on the fence on that, because she had different ways of rubbing people the wrong way.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Kim Basinger.
That's vaguely familiar.
Yep, another actress, and I'm trying to remember all the different shows she's been in. You got Hope Sandoval.
No clue.
No clue either. Says a face like her, voice sweet, enchanting, and emotional. Angelina Jolie. Part of the connection with her and Brad Pitt. Adoption nonsense. We've got a kid. We want to adopt it. Call.
That's one way to put it.
Jennifer Aniston.
Anderson.
After giving in to all this Brad Pitt nonsense. Serena Williams.
Yes.
Part 1 and 2 of the Williams sisters. You got Venus and Serena. I'm sorry. In tennis, they were the reigning queens. You'd have to get through one or both of them if you wanted a title. Good luck. Helen Mirren, extraordinary actor, good sense of humor, great competitor. Throwback, Britney Spears.
Ooh, I've heard of her.
But for a fleeting moment, just between her jailbait phase and when she sang with that snake on her neck. No. Katie Couric, such a force until people started feeling sorry for her. Good news anchor.
That's why I was thinking it was news.
Yeah. Judy Blume.
Miss Bloom.
The Bloom books. Oh, yes. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. And oh, yeah, Super Fudge.
Super Fudge.
Kelly Clarkson.
Not bad.
Yeah, it says the best voice in the history of pop music. I could argue on that.
I wouldn't classify her as pop.
Yeah. And for all of you out there, Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica!
Says, Betty Boop didn't even come close. We've got a person that will argue that.
Yes, we do. Hilda likes Betty Boop. Jessica was a weird cartoon. I could never really see the appeal, but I knew a lot of guys really liked her for reasons.
Yeah. Now, the last two on this list, my daughter will hate me for, but one of them is Michelle Obama.
She did do quite a bit more than her husband did.
She made some great memes, too.
Yes, she did.
Because some of the looks on her face, you're like going, well, no wonder Obama did whatever he did want to do. He'd stick Michelle on you. And then, of course, the other one, a lady who has no shyness when it comes to finding ways for people to accidentally commit suicide, Hillary Clinton.
Okay, I have to say that I feel like they left out...
Yeah, there's a lot of names. Let's go ahead and start adding a few.
The first one that pops to mind when I think of famous women is Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks. Yeah.
I knew I was going to have that wrong.
Because she was big in the civil rights movement. Yep, that's a good one. I think of Krista McAuliffe. She would have been the first teacher in space if the Challenger hadn't blown up. She was all set to educate kids from the shuttle.
Right. I had more, but my brain just went blank.
Yeah, but there is a lot. If you think of some, I would say go ahead and add it into the notes and the comments. But yeah, there's a lot of, and that's just the thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you probably think of a few that might have started small. I remember when I was reading in the homesteaders thing on Facebook, they talked about a lady in Kansas who, interestingly enough, they thought it was going to be a come-on, became the first mayor in the United States.
That's kind of cool.
Because people didn't expect that she would have a chance to win, and so everybody voted for her. Ta-da! We have a new mayor. And then I think about some of the ladies here in South Dakota. We have Kristi Noem,
right?
Our first governor to be a female, and I know Angel doesn't like her that much, but at the same time, you either like her or you hate her, because she didn't shut down our state. Our economy went through the roof. We're still getting businesses to come here. When I talked to some of the people when I was working in the field, that was the thing that appealed to other places, is that our state wasn't locked down for almost 3 months while people were trying to figure out what to do with the COVID. Of course, when you don't have nearly as many people as other states, you can do stuff like that.
Another one I'm not surprised isn't on there is Oprah.
Oprah. Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley.
Um,
Clementi Jane.
Calamity Jane. That Madame Dufresne, she helped a lot of the girls when they were ready to leave the business. She would either find them jobs, places to live, help them get money, help them get started and out of the business.
Anne Frank.
Anne Frank, definitely a good one. Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of that. There was a writer that I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
One of the first, like, female writers.
Yeah. There was another one. Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah. But there are another one local. The lady who is known as Aunt Sally.
Right.
She took care of a lot of people up in Galena. You know, even strangers, she was willing to help them start. In that new town with something to eat. But there's a lot of different places where, I think that's the neat thing about the history is that it's shining a light on a lot of these people that otherwise they wouldn't get the publicity. Or you also need to remember, like you were saying, all 4 of the Golden Girls were awesome. Betty White.
Betty White was awesome. Sophia.
Rue McClanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that she played the Dixie one. Oh my God, I'm going to
Betty White. Blanche Devereaux. Yeah.
She played Blanche, but I always wanted to grow up to be Sophia. I just wanted to be that old lady that said what she said, and you just wrote it off because she's an old lady, and you kind of expect it. And you have to respect your elders.
You're going to be in for a treat, kids. But yeah, there's been some great ones in our history, not only here in the United States but around the world. A lot of it you just got to pull out some of the history books and see who has done some really neat things. I mean, Marie Curie was always a big thing for not only the chemistry that she helped discover, but when you could watch it branch off into the other fields.
Right.
They said if it wasn't for her, they never would have unlocked some of the history of the atom, and it basically opened up the book for chemistry. So, but this has been the Bearded Historian, folks. Enjoy this on Wednesday. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Any female that you can think that would, be deserving. I mean, pretty much all of them have done something great in one way or another in history. So, folks, have a good one. This has been Joe for the Bud Files.
Say good night.
Good night.